Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are thrilled to have with us today the president of the Women in Business at Suffolk University in celebration of the Women History Month. My name is Adeleke Yowa. I'm a grad fellow at the Career Center. I work with the Career Equity and Access Strand. I also have my colleague here with me.
Thank you, Adeleke. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. My name's Muskan Kapoor. Currently, I'm a junior at Suffolk University, and I'm graduating in the May of 2026. My major is finance. I'm concentrating in financial planning, and my minors are accounting and marketing. Currently, this is my second semester as president for Women in Business. I've had the opportunity to engage with diverse initiatives on campus, including like being an events coordinator for another club and collaborating with other student organizations so we can make networking events happen for women in business.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So as we celebrate the Women History Month, what's relevant does this acknowledgement hold for you? Yep.
I would say Women's History Month is a reminder of all of the women that came before us and, they paved the way for us. And it serves as an opportunity to honor them by like acknowledging gender equity and equality. For me, it's a time to like reflect back on the importance of creating that inclusive space where women can thrive and celebrate the women who inspire and uplift one another.
Thank you so much for that. Just to circle in a little bit about your role as the president. So can you like describe your role as president of the Women in Business at Suffolk University and just give us some insight on some of the things you do,
Yeah. I would say
president?
as president, my role is to set like the vision for the club, support my executive board, and ensure that every event of ours aligns with our mission to empower and equip women with opportunities in their professional journeys. I work closely with my e-board to organize these events, um, have those partnerships, external or internal, and then we have that environment where members can grow their skills, their network, and their confidence. I can see myself as an advocate for those women, ensuring that every one of our members has those resources and opportunities that will help them succeed to get that internship or get that full-time job at the end of their senior year.
Thank you. Well done on the good job you do with your e-board members. I see some of the events you hold on campus. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
that.
just for the benefit of those that want to join the club, so what are some key initiatives like events the club has organized and how do they support students academically and professionally?
Yeah, some of the highlights we've had in the past have been like we've had resume workshops, LinkedIn workshops. We have networking panels where we'll have industry panelists come in and speak about their experience in the field itself. Right now, we're working on an International Women's Day fair that we're going to use or we're going to host on March 4th, next Tuesday. And it'll be to showcase International Women's Day, which is on March 8th, and Women's History Month. We're going to have women-owned initiatives come in and kind of put themselves out there. We're just like giving them that platform to advertise themselves. We're going to have FinTech Women, another club on campus, join us for that. We'll have a SGA presidential candidate. She's the only woman running for SGA president. So she'll be there to kind of endorse, and we're like endorsing her. And then we'll also have a couple of external businesses come, and then they can put their businesses out there and promote themselves in that event. And aside from that, we're also having a Woman in the Workplace panel this month where we're going to have 5 industry panelists come in. We're working with the Career Center actually with Laura, and we're hosting a panel for them. They'll be catering, and it's a really good opportunity to just hear from the women in the industry themselves and how they navigate working in the workforce.
Very interesting. It must be a lot putting together this very like beautiful event. Yeah. Well
Yeah,
done. Yeah.
thank you.
Um, so let's see what has been your most rewarding part of leading this club, Women in Business so far? Like what has been your most rewarding part of it?
I would say the most rewarding part of it has been witnessing like the growth and the confidence of our members from last semester to
Mhm.
this semester. Seeing someone gain the courage to attend the networking events or land that internship that they wanted or step into another leadership role, whether it's an art e-board and another e-board. It's really incredibly fulfilling to see. And we want to build that community where all of our members feel heard, they feel valued, they feel empowered. And I think that was like one of the main highlights of my experience.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm just trying to like put my head around like all the like the sleepless night I go into like packaging the programs, like inviting people, like the logistics behind it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So personally now, just to ask some like personal question, as being part of this club helped you personally to develop like both professionally and as it helped your personal and professional growth pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the role has strengthened my ability to lead with more empathy, manage like those complex projects, those event logistics, and navigate those with like resilience, you know? It expanded my professional network for sure and deepened my understanding of the importance behind collaboration and teamwork. And it gives me that confidence to have that clear communication with my team. Personally, it has boosted my confidence and like reaffirmed my commitment to support other women as they pursue their goals as well.
I love that and I appreciate that. They say, practice makes a teacher. And when it
Mhm.
comes to you being confident, like you have to practice and you are practicing what you preach. So that's really great. How has how do you manage the demands of being a club president, your academics, your personal life, and professional development in a way that it is of advantage to you?
Mhm. I would say balancing all of these responsibilities requires like very strong time management and like clear prioritization for me. I rely heavily on organizing my time and delegating my tasks widely to my whole e-board as well. It's not just me, it takes a team to get anywhere and like having that open communication so nobody feels overwhelmed with their tasks. I do, I'm very good at setting boundaries for myself and practicing that self-care as well when I need it. My education is my priority at the end of the day. So I want to make sure that I'm available to everybody, but I'm also able to let them know when I'm unavailable so that, they're not just kind of left in the dark of why isn't she responding or, what is she up to if she's not helping us. So I try to be very clear with my communication with the rest of my team. And I view each aspect, like the academics, the leadership, the personal growth, they're all interconnected in a way. And I just want to make sure that my time in them align with my values and my goals that I was raised with.
Yes, and I love how you mentioned like communication, having to communicate the right information to your e-board or to your members such that everyone is on the same page and no one is left behind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like just to like challenges as students, like I have the challenges I'm facing, like we all have challenges we're facing. So as like the president, have you faced any challenge or have you faced any like whatever challenge it might be? And if so, how were you able to navigate it?
I would say last semester, fall semester, I had a challenge where, there was multiple organizations we were collabing with and some miscommunications had happened. And to address those issues, I was very transparent. Um, by keeping that communication, I kind of wanted to be proactive so I could tell, like, we're not all on the same page. So I remember I called a meeting ahead of time and I was like, I know we're all done with the planning of the event, but I still want to make sure we're on the exact same page of the day of the event so that we're not kind of overstepping on each other. We want to like keep input from everybody and stay flexible at the same time because at the end of the day our focus is the goal at the end of the day, having those students show up, having those students engage with the panelists coming there, having them make sure that their questions at the end of the panels are heard and like reciprocated that same energy with the answers. We want to make sure that they're given that time to connect with the panelists after the event is over so they can, maybe they resonated with one of the panelists more than the other. So they get that time to communicate with that panelist. And I think the biggest struggle of it was, having two other presidents be very involved. And that wasn't a problem. It was a really good building step for me in my growth professionally, where I learned to take other people's ideas into account more and see the pros and cons of which idea works out better to align with our mission at the end of the day.
I love that. Do you have mentors? And if yes, what role have they played in your academic career development? If no, how would you go about finding mentors?
So I would say I don't have one mentor. I have multiple. I'm so
Oh,
grateful to have them. Their insights have helped me navigate very hard leadership challenges. A lot of my professors, my freshman year, have been someone I still communicate back with for advice or guidance on anything, whether it's personal or professional. I would say that my family is my biggest like motivating factor and my mentor. I'm very transparent with my mom and dad, and they both have such strong roles in my life where I get that female perspective and that male perspective equally. It's not like one person in my family kind of has that head of household. It's both of them. So I go to both of them with that same respect. I hear them both out in each approach they have because they're both different people, but they're the mentors that I think have given me the most perspective and guidance that has affected me on a day-to-day basis. And if I hadn't had a mentor, I would say it's not something you can force. It's a connection that naturally gets built. You just have to put yourself out there, and that's the first step. You won't even realize you have a mentor until you have them, you know? It's like you'll realize right then and there that's the person you want to get advice from. That's the person you want to be in their space, in the place that they are at, or in the position they're at, or maybe a position they worked previously in. That's the person you kind of want that guidance from because they've been in your position before.
Yeah, that's like very valid about mentors, how the role they play in our life. So
Hmm.
just circling back to your role as the president and like the club activity. So how does the Women in Business Club facilitate mentorship opportunities or conversation for its member? This also include like peer mentorship.
Yeah, I would say that I know my e-board, we have always put it out there to our members that if they ever want like a resume review or, if they ever see us connected with someone on LinkedIn, come up to us in the middle of our meeting, tell us, we will help you build that connection with that person. If there's a company you're trying to apply an internship for and they're in my network and you saw that on LinkedIn or Instagram, wherever, or you saw them interacting with me in person, because I am grateful to have that network now as president where I do get the opportunity to speak to all these amazing people. So I am very open to helping my members meet those people, whether it's through me, through an e-board member, through a different organization that I've communicated with and they maybe know somebody, or even if it's an external like organization, someone that's offering an internship, I'm always happy to facilitate that connection between them. I would say the club itself, we have our panel discussions, we have our workshops, we have those professionals come in and directly speak with them, but we also always send up that follow-up email with their contact information, their LinkedIn link or their Instagram or their Facebook, whatever that case might be, their email. And then they can directly like set up a coffee chat with them or maybe like a 15-minute interview session, or they could send them a list of questions they have where they can really like reflect on their answers based on that.
we appreciate you being a female leader on campus. How would it, a different question I would ask is, who are some female leaders who have inspired you or who have mentored you? I know you already spoke a little bit about mentors in your life, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious, who are some of the female leaders who inspire you?
Yeah. Can I name the professors?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that Joanna Trainer was my management professor my sophomore year, and she helped me host my first ever panel as president for Women in Business last semester. And that was a huge stepping stone for me because she helped me kind of navigate how that works, like the event logistics of it, building up the confidence to even announce it to the members and attract students to come and enjoy this panel. So I think she is definitely one of my mentors there. Currently, I'm working with Laura from the Career Center, and she has been a huge help. Just last week, we did a career closet drop in where, a bunch of women in business members were given the opportunity to come together and go to the Career Center and pick out 3 pieces of clothing for free. I thought that was amazing. It was inspiring as well. And now I never thought I would see myself here, but within the next month, I'm going to be moderating a panel myself where I get to ask the panelists the question in the front of the room. So I think Laura really helped me provide that foundation for myself where like now I know I can ask those questions confidently in a public setting where students are looking up to me as well. And I think aside from those two, my mom has always played a big factor in my life where she might not be professionally helping me, but as a person, she's always given me that confidence. Be the person you want to be at the end of the day. You know, like everybody has a leadership style, everybody has a different way to interpret what you say. If your intentions are good, your actions align with your morals, you know, that's the most you can do. You can only control your actions. And that's professionally or personally, I think has helped me out immensely in my whole life. So I think my mom would definitely be my biggest role model per se. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. So, the last question would be, which is one of my best question actually. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say I would tell my younger self to trust the process and embrace any opportunity outside of their comfort zone. It's okay to not have, you know, everything just planned out and figured out. It like you won't have growth until you take those risks and you take that experience whether you fail or you succeed. I'd emphasize the importance of building genuine connections and seeking that support when it's needed. Ask for that help when you need it. Um, Everybody is more capable than they realize, and every step forward matters, whether or not you might think it's a step back.
That's amazing. I love that concept of, hey, you've got to be intentional.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that. Well, I want to say thank you for uh, kicking off our Women's History celebration. I am so proud of you of the work that you're doing on campus, and I am excited to celebrate you and the work partnership that you have with the Career Center. Even though it's not a plug, I love this now because it feels like, hey,
Mhm.
you are leading in this space, and I know that other students are going to see what you're doing and also be able to come to the Career Center because you think it's a place to find partnerships and find connections. So thank you. And thanks, Adeleke, for leading the conversation today.
Thank you both so much. I appreciate given the opportunity to be here.